The ParaVid Podcast is on this video. Also, new and part 5. Yes, production. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Pick up my Facebook, like, all right, join me every Friday at 2 p.m. to you. On the monster. You can find us everywhere. Right back in the entire thing. All right, here we are. Here, get through this thing. Freaking chat here. Close. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the J.A.W. Show. Today's episode is with a very special guest here. Barron is here. He's got a new thing that he's promoting today, and it's called Para-Video. Right? Correct? ParaVid Studios, correct?
ParaVid Studios, yes.
All right, and first of all, I want to welcome you onto the show and say thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate that so much, because of some of the things going on in your own personal channel and things like that, and just because life in general has a weird way of connecting people. I was watching it and saying, you know what, this guy makes a lot of sense here. What he's saying here, he could stop a couple of things I have in the works. Well, let's give him a shot, though, to convince me not to start my evil plan. So I guess I want to know a little bit about what ParaVid Studios is.
So ParaVid Studios was started because I have, like you said, I have my own show, and I started doing just a couple of BS videos. I just started toying around with it, and apparently people like them. So I was being asked with my inner circle of my community, if I would make videos for people, help them out. And one of the guys I work with said, hey, you could turn this into something. And I said, well, here's the thing. I don't want to make, tons of money about it. I don't want to just be about the money. Obviously a couple bucks in my pocket would be nice, but it's not my main goal. Because my whole passion has been to help people. So I started thinking about it, and I thought, you know what, I'll do it. I'll start up, and I couldn't think of a name. And I'm known as a paranormal consultant, and we're doing a video, videos for people in the paranormal field. So ParaVid Studios was born. And I was toying around with a couple of logos and whatnot, and I settled on the one I have, which I love. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's still inviting. So yeah, so that's how that got started.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. And I guess I want to know a little bit about what kind of things you are going to be offering at ParaVid Studios.
So we offer a couple of different things. What we're offering is customized. Everything's customized. Intros, outros, commercials, and also promotional videos, all which I use on my shows. Every video you see on the Para-Crew podcast, the Para-Prod podcast, they're all mine. I created them all. I have all the licensing for them. That was a big thing with our community, was these copyright claims. So that's all stopped, minus a couple little tweaks here and there, but for the most part, they're all worked out. So that's kind of where that is going. But like I said, it's not about really anything but helping.
Right. And then I guess I kind of want to know where you kind of came from, a little bit about your journey, what kind of brought you to this point here, because we're all driven by something in this world. And I kind of want to know about a little bit more about what got you to be to this point in as brief digest version as you can for me. But speak at will. I would really like to know.
No, so just like everybody else, I had a personal experience when I was really young. And where I grew up here in central Pennsylvania, you really don't talk about the paranormal. It's kind of taboo. So I didn't really say much about it to anybody. And then when I was in the military out in San Diego, met up with a couple of friends. They wanted to go investigating. We went. I had some fun. And that was about 16 years ago. And I had a personal experience while investigating. And since then, I ran 3 different teams. I've been on over 400 homes and businesses case wise, amongst thousands of hours in the field. And I got out of the team setting about 3 years ago. And that's when I started to, really think I want to still help people. I still love this field. So my wife suggested, why not going as like a consultant for people? And I said, a consultant. I was like, a paranormal consultant. So that's where that was born. And then I started doing how-to videos, and that led me to meeting up with some great people. And that's where my show started. And then after that, it was 1 day a week. Then I had started getting guest after guest after guest. Now I'm 2 days a week for my one show. And that led to a bunch of other things. And that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, because I can see a bunch of your logos in the background, just to show you guys how much he actually does there. All those background logos back there are things that he does out there on the internet. So he's pushing his content out there left and right. You only see me once a week here at the Josh Show. So I have a weekly show, and that's about as much as I can handle some days. But maybe I need to up my game a little bit.
Well, the main logo right here, that's my brand new logo. I have a Global Ghost Hunt up here. I have Paralinks. These are all people I network with. The P3 logo, which is right here, that is a program that I started. My wife and I started to help the community out. There's her show, and it's just a bunch of different things. These are all my supporters and different people and there's more. There's so much more that I work with.
Yeah, because we work with different people in our fields every day. There are different people, places, and things that touch us all the way around in the world that we're in. And even though you might touch that person for 5 seconds, that 5 seconds might be the thing that changed their life forever.
100%.
And what we promote here on the Josh Show is not only promoting small business or unique talent business or something like that in the Twin Cities metro area, is that we also support community and coming together as communities, and everybody has their little families in this world, and everybody has their opinions and visions and stuff like that. But from what I'm hearing on a lot of the shows I've watched with you recently has been about coming together, the positive message of doing what's most importantly, what's in your field, what evidence you're catching, the kind of content you're putting out. If you're got a personality, great. People love your personality, But that's for the people who watch you to decide, not necessarily the other people who are in your group all the time. Yeah, they're gonna have their opinions and stuff too. But then you either have fun with it or you don't have fun with it. Either you try to stop an evil plan once in a while or start one,
Yeah. Yep. And that's the thing. That's the one thing that when I started the Paracrew podcast, well, it was originally Paracast, but the Paracrew podcast is one thing we pride ourselves in. We're unscripted. We are who we are. We are there to promote our guests and we promote our community. Like that's another reason why I started the P3, the Paranormal Partnership Program. It's a community, it's a team run community to where we support each other, we love each other, we care about each other. It's no longer, with people we're working with, it's no longer, hey, I know those people. It's, hey, they're my family,
right.
And that's what we're turning it into.
Right. And just like every family, you got functional, dysfunctional at different periods of time sometimes, because we all have we all have our own shit, right?
Oh yeah.
And we got all of our own stuff, and sometimes that can get in the way, but that's okay, because then we got to take a step back and go, okay, yeah, right, I do have these issues. Maybe they're not all wrong, maybe they're not all right. I'm still gonna be me, and screw you all if you don't like it. Sometimes it's the way you gotta go, And go ahead.
Sorry, brother, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I was just gonna say that what I'm seeing is what you're promoting is more of the let's set the ego aside, let's come together and push more togetherness and positivity than anything else. So if you want to touch base with me a little bit about why that has driven you so much in your life, I'd like to know.
Yeah, by all means. So the main drive for that is, well, let me take a step back. So before I started my very first team, I tried to get with a team out in San Diego and literally went through the interview process. They seemed great. Excuse me. At the first meeting we had, they wanted $500 from me right then and there, just boom. And at the time I was unemployed. I was like, I don't have it. And they said, well, you need to find it or you're not being a part of this team. And I'm like, really? And then I thought it was an isolated incident, but no, that's a lot of how these teams were back then. So that's when I started my mission to show people that the paranormal community needs to come together. And, when I started Paranormal Consultant, there's a lot of teams out there who think that they're territorial, that they have this location, that's it, it's theirs. Unless you legally own it, it is not yours. It's public property. So I just got tired of hearing about it. And one word that got thrown around a lot and still does is para-unity or para-family. People say it, but they don't follow through. And and a lot of these teams and groups forget about is our differences are what's going to bring us together. And from what I've been doing with the P3 program, with Parapost Network, with Paralinks, with everybody, is that's just it. We are all different, but think of the paranormal field like a big jigsaw puzzle. Each piece is completely different, but it's going to take all of these pieces to get that final answer. And the answer for us should not be, is there life after death? Because we know that answer. There is. We're trying to figure out what happens after death. And I'm sorry, but until the ego gets dropped and until people realize that it's not me, we're never going to get that answer. It's going to be a lot easier.
Because the collective mission should be about that answer. That's the reason a lot of us go into this field. That's the reason I am the field and I am. I still have, even though with all the connections I feel like I have, I still don't know the answer. What happens after we die? Yeah, I believe there's a place we go. Personally, I believe there's a different, even if that's a dimensional shift to a different reality, that's still somewhere you go. Whether that's dimensional reality or that's heaven or that's the mythical white light, or you just become a part of the energy of whatever, that's still a place you go. Even if the void is the place you go, it's still a place you go,
Yep.
And that might be the reason why people get stuck here, is because once you go into the void, there's nothing left. That might be why there's so many ghosts here. We don't know the answer. That's what paranormal investigation is out to find out. And to prove that, we need the evidence and all the other stuff that you need, that requires us to be able to back it up in a scientific method that shows, hey, we found this answer out doing this. We have repeatable things that we can show out. And now there are more cameras in the world than ever. And people are catching things because now there are more eyes than there have ever been before. It's always been happening. It's just now we have more eyes on it than ever,
Yep. Yep. And whether you're a skeptic or whether you're, religious or not, everybody has agreed the same thing. And just like you, I watch a lot of podcasts and I've heard a lot of people, and we all agree the same thing. Energy cannot be destroyed. You cannot, down to the molecular level, you cannot destroy energy. It has to go somewhere. So you're absolutely right. The equipment, the technology that we have now, it's getting a little bit easier, but we're still not there. And the reason for that, in my personal opinion, is because we still have the skeptic, scientific based people and the metaphysical side. We need to start coming together and pulling our resources.
Right.
And will we ever get a definitive answer?
No.
Well, eventually when we pass, yes, absolutely. We'll find out that answer really quick. But in the meantime, we're never going to get concrete evidence. It's never going to be like you can take it to court and say paranormal is real, here's my proof, because there's always going to be naysayers. But you know what? In the meantime, who cares? Let's have fun.
Yeah, let's have fun with it and stuff like that. And that's the important thing about what we do here on the Josh Show, is that what we're about is showing that small businesses, different as they can be, do touch each other. That any business, anything that you can do in this life touches that different group. You've lost somebody in your life. You've done something, seen something, heard something, felt something, even for 5 seconds when you enter a room. You know, when your mom died, you knew when something was going to happen because you had a big weird dream the night before, whatever it is. Everyone has their something. Admit it, don't admit it, whatever. Whether you call that personal higher power or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not about necessarily it's about finding out the answer. It's also about the journey to get there too,
Absolutely.
So, and one of the things I'm glad to hear is that you're doing that here on your show, your new ParaVid Studios, is you're trying to give people a place to come do that, from what I'm hearing, right?
Yes.
Uh,
So what that is basically because we all know, like, just like you played an intro. There's some people and some groups out there, and even businesses, who have no promotional tools. They struggle with getting themselves out there. They struggle with just networking. Well, this is what ParaVid Studios was created for. It's for giving somebody an opportunity to promote their business. You can build an intro, an outro, whatever. You can build any type of video you'd like, completely customizable, no watermarks, so you don't have to worry about that, with music and sound if you care for it. And it's yours. It's yours. It's your property. It's completely up to you what you want to do with it. And I also have this program where if somebody wants to help, like, start spreading it out, I will put the video I make on my Facebook for ParaVid Studios, or on the YouTube side as well. So that way others can see what is going on, and see that not only getting your business out there, but seeing that you're taking part of ParaVid Studio. So it's another way to promote yourself out.
Right, and that's what I'm about, is promoting people, because the only way to share people's content sometimes, especially when we all learned during this COVID event, that sometimes it's easier to do things online and in your own home than it is to go out and actually do a physical thing sometimes, when a lot of those physical jobs are being done by things that are either automated things doing it for you, and then you have quality check with some human, but there's human error even in the best machine and the best human too. So,
Of course.
I know what you're really here to do today. You're here to stop my evil plan. So, I got my list of degenerates here too, who I have to deal with on a daily basis, and those are all the people in my audience. And I ask this question of everybody, and I guess, besides what you've already kind of told me, what in this world do you do, like, give back? What is your why? How are you saving the world? Or if you could change this world in one thought, if you could say, this is what we need, and I could snap my fingers and make it happen, what would it be to help save the world?
Honestly, get rid of the ego. That's the biggest thing. And like we've stated, we pay attention. We pay attention to a lot of teams, groups, podcasts, and everybody thinks they're going to be the next, Zach, or the next Taps, or this and that. I wish people would understand that this field, you will never make it. Well, I'll be that blunt. You will never. I mean, if you get lucky, great. And we all say we want to win the lottery. Some people may. But for the most of us, we're not going to get to that point. We're not going to be on TV. We're not going to get millions of dollars doing this. People in the field need to understand, we are here to spend money. This is a very expensive field. And it doesn't have to be, but it can be. And you do, like, a lot of things, and I say this on my show, a lot of things that we do in the paranormal can be done right here on our phones. We can do everything on our phones, and you can still investigate. And I mean, that would be the thing, is getting rid of those egos. And that's one thing that the P3 program is doing right now, is we are building that community. And it says right in our P3 video, no egos. And that's
Right.
the honest to the God truth.
Right, and it's important to even with big egos like us sometimes, because hell, we each have a show designed for different purposes. We have egos. We both have giant egos. Of course, we want people to come watch us. Of course, we want people to come view us and see us. But it should be what we're putting out there as content. Being the director and critic of our work should be based on what we're actually putting out there. And that should be all that we're based on. Now, up to the fan, up to the person who's seeking something for the first time, or seeing something for the first time, whatever that may be. If we don't share that collectively, if we don't all share our stories, our evidence, our tools, our methods, our reasons for doing the way what we're doing, then we're never ever going to get to a point where we're actually making significant change in this world. And that's what
100%.
I'm geared towards to doing here, is because what I want people to realize is it shouldn't take a super villain for us to come together and make the world a better place. We should just need, hey, Matt, I hear you got a good thing going on over there. I've got a good thing over here going on. Hey, let's work together and make shit happen, right? And then, not only my field, hey, someone's got a paranormal thing happen in one of these small businesses and they could use your services. Hey, why not pass you the referral or promote you for that? Because I know someone who could help you with that. Honestly want to help you with that. Not one of these schmucks who want to take every cent you have. Not one of these people who are trying to, get evidence for their own sole purposes of just getting the evidence and throwing you under a bus. There's always going to be those people who misuse the system to their benefit, no matter what industry you're in. That's the way the world works right now. But it doesn't have to be like that. We can all just work together. So
100%. And
what are
that's,
you do?
oh, sorry.
No.
That's why I started working with Parapost with Brian John Laverty over on Parapost and parapost.net, is because that's a drama-free, ego-free environment. Like, that's what that's there for, is to help network. And again, that's why the P3 was created, because now we are giving people an opportunity to say, hey, well, like for you, for example, if you say, hey, I'm going to go to Texas, I want to go to San Antonio. Great. I know 3 people right here that are there. They'll show you around. Or you want to go to Florida, I know the perfect person that you can meet up with. And, or if somebody says, hey, I have a client, like this has already happened. One of the P3 family members said, hey, I have a client from Oregon or California. Hey, they need help. Cool. We'll send them to this team and they get networked.
Right. And then, one of the things I want to know more about is about anything in your personal life that you're doing right now to give back to your own local community, or anything that you're just trying to do to help that may not be related to the ghost hunting stuff. Anything else that you personally do or get behind?
Well, there's an individual who I say on my show a lot. His name's Mr. Fedora, Scott Morton. He's from Warren Area Society of Paranormal here in Pennsylvania. He does a lot with the public and the community. I know usually in July he does a Toys for Tots type thing for Christmas. I know he's doing another toy drive. But I'm going to start in 2023. I'm going to start reaching out to my general community to show them that the paranormal is not something to be afraid of. We are here to help. And so I want to start networking with the Historical Society. I'm going to do a lot of cleanup, help out volunteer stuff around the town. But that's going to be one of those, I got to be careful, because there's, like I said, this is in this small town, it's very taboo. So you got to be careful on how you do it. But I just hosted an event this year called Para Unity Day, and I'll be hosting another one next year and the following year. But I'm going to start working with that, and that's going to be geared towards bringing the paranormal to the general community, to show them and to try to make some connections to help out where we can.
I get behind Toy for Tots a lot, because when I was a little kid, I was one of those kids who didn't get the presents like everybody else. We got mostly clothes for Christmas, which was the best gift ever, because when you got new clothes and you didn't have to go in the old Salvation Army clothes to school all the time, you didn't get teased or picked on as much, So, when you look poor, you are poor, and you're living poor. Growing up, it's not always fun, when you get that rare occasion when you get something you really wanted for Christmas and Santa was really, really good to you that year,
Yeah.
And that happens.
Yeah.
Place for Tots makes that happens for those parents who are struggling and children who just want, hey, a gift would be nice at Christmas. And I really am behind that a lot, because we were the beneficiaries of some of those programs when we were little too. So thank you very much for being a part of that as well. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's great. We get behind these labels and egos and everything that we want to put behind. But at the end of the day, what are we ultimately all trying to do? We're all trying to find a better way to work together, live together, and cooperate together, so that we can move in a direction that benefits not only me personally, but you.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part of all of us here. And I guess I want to hear more about some difficult times that you've had, maybe that you had some negativity, but you're working towards some positivity. Whatever you'd like to share, part of my show, personally for you as well. Kind of like, because we all have those personal issues we fight against every day. Our personal supervillain, as you would like to say.
Yeah, and actually, just recently, I wanted to take a sabbatical. I wanted to take a step back, because I had a lot personally going on financially. I get these spurts of depression to where I just kind of shut down. and this last one was really bad for me. And typically the show or networking usually helps me get through it, but this last time it wasn't happening. So I just decided to take a step back. And obviously when I did, there were some people who came out of the woodwork and thought that would be the prime time to attack me.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, you know what? Through, we're talking with the people in my community and my friends and my family and my paranormal family. We got to the point where we're just like, screw it. You know what? I'm gonna do me. And it's kind of revamped me. And what it ends up being is quality over quantity. Who cares how many are watching? Who cares what other people say? If you can go to bed at night and you can sleep well knowing you did your damnedest, you did your best, you had fun doing it, and you feel like you accomplished a goal that day and you made a little bit of an impact, that's what's important. Screw these other people. If they don't like you, like we said, go somewhere else. There's hundreds and thousands of other, channels and shows to watch. You don't have to stick with one.
Yeah, because that's the great thing about internet content is there's no shortage of people out there trying to do things. No shortage of people who have their own ways of and methods of doing things. There's no shortage of people out there who are trying to do it for their own nefarious purposes or beneficial purposes that benefit all, whatever way. There's no shortage of those people out there. And yes, we've got to work around those people sometimes, but even sometimes they can have their benefits because what did they do? They turned you into a hero or a villain in their mind. And what does that need you to do? Well, that's a cause to action. That's a cause for you to do something. Hey, I'm going to be a better person, a more positive person, and I'm going to give you this message. You either go one of two ways in this world. You either go I'm going to get you back and I'm going to promote positivity. And sometimes we all choose both at the same time, a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a hard thing to fight because I have personal demons as well as depression and anxieties and suicide attempts throughout my life as well. And being on medication for it, sometimes the medication doesn't always help. Sometimes I have outbursts in the middle of things where I'm doing something perfectly good. And if my medication isn't working correctly, the wrong 5 words can send me into a moment, But if the people who know me the best should know that that's my medical condition. That's not always necessarily me, the person and have come to love. Sometimes how I react isn't always something I control. It's something that I am trying to control the best I know how to through these methods. And the more support you have, the more people you got your back, the easier it is to get through that.
Oh,
I don't think anyone can argue with that, unless you're an introvert who lives in the woods somewhere, who's perfectly happy being alone and no one gets bothered every day. Well, great. If that's what makes your life a better, happier thing to do, I'm all for you. Woohoo!
Yeah, and that's it. Do it for you. Do everything you do in life, no matter what it is. Do it for you. Do it for you. Do it for your family. If your family's important, do it for your family. Do it. Make sure that any type of obstacle that comes up, it isn't a roadblock. It's a stepping stone. You see, and even these people that are out there, these haters, they'll come after you. You know what? A lot of these haters called themselves my friends, my family. And you know what? It's going to happen. It's going to happen that these people are going to come out of the woodwork, and it might be someone you just don't expect. But you know what? At least you're finding out the truth.
Right. And that's the most important part is that you at least have a full picture of what's going on. And sometimes the best success is proving them wrong and proving, hey, para-unity actually works. Coming together actually works. What we're doing here actually works. And where are you now? No one has heard from you in about 5 to 7 years. And you've actually gone and done something else now because that's no longer working for you. You disappear. Just like the mythical ghost you're hunting, you have to search for the evidence that you're still around,
And the other thing is too is these people who are talking all this crap, the truth will come out. People will see their true colors. And what's funny is they're going to do it to themselves. We don't have to do anything.
And so, Matt, I really want to say to you, thank you for being here and on my show for this time today. Is there anything coming up or anything you're doing in the future here you'd like to tell my guests that they can look forward to?
Um, just the Paracrew podcast. I am back fully. I announced that I'm back in the field. I'm back doing the podcast. So I have a Paracrew podcast every Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So I have one tonight. And then I also have the Paraprod podcast Mondays at 9. And I also have I co-host the Petri Dish on at was it Thursday at 9. Too many shows.
Too many
But
shows.
too many shows. But you can reach out at any one of them. ParaVid Studios is up. It's 24 hours. Just shoot me an email at paravidstudios@gmail.com. Be more than happy to help anybody out. It's free consultation. Price will be discussed at the consultation because it's not that important to me.
Right. So that's kind of what I was going to ask next is the kind of benefits they can look forward to when they want to sign up for Paravideo Studios, and any kind of other benefits is that you kind of take the wheel by the horns, you help them with their content and everything that they want them to do, and you turn it into a place where they can not only distribute that, get connections, get places that you're going, come together as community, share ideas, share evidence, share things that you're doing, and also get promoted in a way that you're going to help them get to their next level, like you are right now. You want to help the next person become the next you. You know what? And not necessarily that anyone can do that, but I'd like to see them try that. How about that?
Well, I always tell people, like Scott, Mr. Fedora, mentioned him earlier. He says, I'm becoming popular and everything like that. My name's getting out there. I said, you know what? Honestly, and I've said this on my show, I'm just an idiot with a big mouth and a camera and some time on his hands. That's all I am. That's all I think about myself. I don't think of myself as I'm going to be changing the world. I'm not a, superhero. I'm not doing anything special. I just have a big mouth. I speak the truth. And you know what? People either like it or you don't. Either way, I don't care. I'm doing what I love. I'm having fun while I'm doing it. And I'm meeting some amazing people like yourself and many, many others. And you know what? I'm going to take this as far as I can go. And God help whoever tries to stop me.
Right. And like I said, one of these amazing people who I'm glad to have you on my show, not only to promote your business and everything that you're doing, because I really hear you and I'm with you. I am still a psychic medium trying to find my own personal ghost hunting group. And I'm trying to find out, number one, I've done a lot of people when it comes to meeting people and I hold their hands and read their palm. I'm great at doing stuff like that. But I've always kind of had this feeling that I've seen and heard ghosts from a very young age myself. And I've kind of wanted my own slice of the proof there that that's actually something that I can actually help with and do. And I'm still on that journey of figuring out what I can and cannot do. And hey, maybe I come back with, I can do a little, but I'm not so great as I thought I was, or better than I think I am. And hey, and we're getting evidence because you're coming along and helping us. So,
Well, the only advice I can give you, brother, is get with Parapost. Sign up for Parapost, Parapost or parapost.net. You can find it on the App Store, anywhere. It is free to sign up, free to download. And I know Brian John Laverty is doing some amazing work with that. And also, please check out the P3 family. And everyone is welcome in the P3 family. It doesn't matter if you're in the paranormal field or not, just starting out, a veteran, whatever, it doesn't matter. Everyone is welcome to our P3 family. So feel free to reach out. We'll get you in. We'll get you on board.
All right. Well, Matt, I really want to say thank you for being here today. And thank you for being a part of my show. You've put a dent in the evil plan for now. So we'll have to give you one of these check mark things. Ding, ding. You get to go into the Josh Show heaven, as we like to call. You'll go into our interview archives where people can come watch this show. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe Mr. Matt Barron and what he's doing. Don't forget to like and subscribe me at the Josh Show and what we're doing. So check us both out on our platforms on YouTube and on Facebook. So make sure you check those things out. And I just want to say, we're here to save the world, guys, not destroy it. But if we have to, we will.
Much love to you, brother. Thanks for having me.
Much love, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.